Have you ever wondered if something as simple as the way you sleep could influence how long you live? Not how many hours you sleep, not whether you snore, but the actual position your body is in while you're asleep. It might sound like another internet myth. After all, every few months there's a new headline claiming that sleeping on one side cures everything from wrinkles to heart disease. But beneath the exaggeration lies something genuinely fascinating. Over the last decade, neuroscientists have discovered that while you're sleeping, your brain performs one of the most extraordinary maintenance processes in the human body. A process so important that without it, toxic waste begins accumulating inside the brain. Some researchers even believe this nightly cleaning system may influence the long-term risk of neurodegenerative diseases, such as Alzheimer's disease. And surprisingly, researchers have begun asking an unexpected question. Could the position you sleep in affect how efficiently your brain performs this nightly cleanup? Today, we'll explore what modern science actually says. We'll separate myths from evidence. Discover how your brain literally washes itself while you sleep. See why some sleep positions may offer unique advantages. And most importantly, learn what really matters if your goal is to protect your brain and support healthy aging. Let's begin with one remarkable fact. Your brain is incredibly busy. Even while you're sitting quietly watching this video, billions of neurons are communicating. Electrical signals are firing. Proteins are being produced. Like every busy city, the brain generates waste, damaged proteins, used chemicals, fragments of dead cells, byproducts of metabolism. In 2012, researchers discovered an entirely new waste-clearing network inside the brain. Today, it's known as the glymphatic system. Many scientists describe it as the brain's own cleaning crew. Here's how it works. Cerebrospinal fluid, the clear liquid surrounding your brain and spinal cord, begins flowing through tiny channels between brain cells. As it moves, it picks up metabolic waste, misfolded proteins, inflammatory molecules, and other substances that accumulate throughout the day. Eventually, these wastes are carried away and removed from the brain. Imagine cleaning a sponge. Fresh water flows through it, carrying dirt out with every squeeze. The glymphatic system works in a surprisingly similar way. It's one of the most elegant maintenance systems ever discovered in human biology. But here's the truly astonishing part. This cleaning process becomes dramatically more active during sleep than the day. In fact, some studies suggest that the flow of cerebrospinal fluid increases significantly during deep sleep. It's as though your brain waits until you're unconscious before sending in the overnight cleaning crew. Why? The answer appears to involve space. When researchers studied sleeping brains in laboratory animals, they noticed something unexpected. Brain cells seemed to shrink slightly during deep sleep, because shrinking cells created more room between them. Those tiny extra spaces allowed cerebrospinal fluid to circulate much more freely. In simple terms, sleep appears to open additional pathways for the brain's cleaning system. Think about trying to wash a crowded street during rush hour. Cars are everywhere. Traffic barely moves. Now imagine cleaning that same street at 3 o'clock in the morning. The roads are empty. Cleaning becomes much easier. That's essentially what sleep may be doing for your brain. It creates conditions that allow waste removal to become far more efficient. And among the waste products attracting the most scientific attention is a protein called beta amyloid. Beta amyloid is naturally produced in healthy brains. Normally it isn't a problem, but if too much accumulates over many years, it can form sticky plaques associated with Alzheimer's disease. Researchers have found that even a single night of poor sleep may temporarily increase measurable levels of beta amyloid. That doesn't mean missing one night of sleep causes Alzheimer's. Actually, the brain is remarkably resilient. However, repeated years of insufficient or fragmented sleep may gradually reduce the efficiency of these nightly cleaning processes. This is one reason sleep has become such an important topic in longevity research. Good sleep isn't simply about feeling rested tomorrow morning. It may also be helping preserve your brain for decades to come. But here's where today's story becomes even more intriguing. If the glymphatic system depends on fluid movement, and could gravity play a role? Think about it. Throughout the day, gravity influences blood flow, fluid distribution, even swelling in your legs after standing for hours. Why wouldn't body position also influence how fluids move around the brain? This idea fascinated researchers. So they began investigating whether different sleeping positions might influence glymphatic activity. The earliest evidence came from animal studies. Researchers compared different body positions while monitoring the movement of cerebrospinal fluid. Interestingly, the side sleeping position appeared to produce more efficient waste clearance than lying flat on the back or stomach. The findings quickly attracted worldwide attention. Headlines soon appeared claiming, "Sleeping on your side cleans your brain." But science is rarely that simple. These experiments were primarily conducted in animals under carefully controlled laboratory conditions. Human brains are far more complex. Human sleep is far more variable, and proving the same effect in people is extremely challenging. Still, even if the evidence isn't yet definitive, there may be another reason side sleeping has attracted attention. It already offers several well-established health benefits unrelated to brain detox. Many sleep specialists recommend side sleeping because it can reduce snoring. For some people, it may also decrease episodes of obstructive sleep apnea. That's significant because untreated sleep apnea repeatedly interrupts oxygen delivery during the night. Over months and years, those repeated interruptions have been linked with higher risks of cardiovascular disease, cognitive decline, high blood pressure, and reduced quality of life. So even if future research eventually shows that sleeping position has only a modest effect on glymphatic function, improving breathing during sleep may still provide enormous long-term health benefits. Sometimes, a habit turns out to be beneficial for more than one reason, and sometimes, the indirect benefits are even more important than the original hypothesis. But not all side sleeping is exactly the same. Is sleeping on the left side better, or the right? Could one side help your brain more than the other? And what about sleeping on your back, or face down? The answers are more nuanced than most people realize. In the next part, we'll examine each sleeping position individually, explore what science says about reflux, heart health, brain detoxification, spinal alignment, and longevity. You may be surprised to learn that the best sleeping position depends less on internet trends and far more on your own body. So, if sleeping position might influence both brain health and overall well-being, which position is actually the best? Left, right, back, or stomach? Every position comes with potential advantages and possible drawbacks. Understanding those differences can help you choose the position that's most beneficial for your own body. Let's start with the position that has received the most scientific attention: sleeping on your side. Around 60% of adults naturally spend most of the night sleeping on one side. In many ways, our bodies seem to prefer it. One of the biggest advantages of side sleeping is its effect on breathing. When you lie flat on your back, gravity can cause the tongue and soft tissues of the throat to fall backward. This narrows the airway. Especially those who are overweight or have obstructive sleep apnea, the airway may collapse repeatedly throughout the night. Each collapse briefly reduces oxygen levels. Your brain responds by partially waking you just enough to reopen the airway. These awakenings often last only a few seconds. Most people never remember them, but they can happen dozens or even hundreds of times during a single night. The result? Poor sleep quality, higher stress hormone levels, increased blood pressure, and over many years, a greater risk of cardiovascular disease and cognitive decline. Simply changing from your back to your side often reduces these airway collapses. In fact, doctors frequently recommend positional therapy before considering more invasive treatments for mild sleep apnea. Better breathing means better oxygen delivery, and your brain depends on oxygen more than almost any other organ in your body. What about sleeping specifically on your left side? This recommendation appears everywhere online. Some claims are supported by evidence, others are greatly exaggerated. One of the strongest reasons doctors recommend left-side sleeping has nothing to do with the brain. It involves the digestive system. If you've ever experienced acid reflux, you know how miserable it can be. Stomach acid flows upward into the esophagus, causing burning pain, chronic coughing, or disturbed sleep. Interestingly, multiple studies have shown that lying on the left side reduces nighttime acid reflux compared with lying on the right side. Why? The answer comes down to anatomy. Your stomach sits slightly toward the left side of your body. When you lie on your left, gravity tends to keep stomach contents lower than the entrance to the esophagus. When you lie on your right, that relationship changes. Acid can more easily reach the esophagus. It's a surprisingly simple mechanical effect. No medication, no complicated biology, just gravity working in your favor. For millions of people with gastroesophageal reflux disease, sleeping on the left side may significantly improve sleep quality, and better sleep itself supports healthier aging. Some people also claim left-side sleeping is better for the heart. The reality is more complicated. Pregnant women are often advised to sleep on the left side because it improves blood flow between mother and baby. That recommendation is supported by obstetric research. However, for healthy adults, there is little evidence that left-side sleeping dramatically improves heart function or extends lifespan. If you enjoy sleeping on your left side, that's perfectly fine, but you don't need to force yourself into that position solely for heart health. Now let's look at right-side sleeping. Does it have disadvantages? Not necessarily. Many perfectly healthy people naturally sleep on their right side. Current research has not shown that right-side sleeping is harmful for brain health. The main exception involves people with severe acid reflux. As we mentioned, right-side sleeping may allow stomach acid to reach the esophagus more easily. Aside from that, the differences between left and right-side sleeping appear relatively small for most healthy individuals. Your comfort matters, because comfortable sleep usually leads to longer, more continuous periods of deep sleep, and deep sleep is exactly when glymphatic activity appears to be greatest. Now let's turn to sleeping on your back. Back sleeping often gets mixed reviews. On the positive side, it keeps the head, neck, and spine in a fairly neutral alignment. Many orthopedic specialists recommend it for people with certain neck or shoulder problems. It may also reduce pressure on the face. Some dermatologists even suggest that sleeping on your back may contribute to fewer sleep wrinkles over many years. But there are downsides. As we mentioned earlier, back sleeping increases the likelihood of snoring and sleep apnea in susceptible individuals. Gravity again plays a role. The tongue naturally falls backward. The airway becomes narrower. For someone with untreated sleep apnea, changing sleep position alone can sometimes reduce symptoms substantially. That's why many sleep clinics encourage positional therapy before moving on to devices or surgery for selected patients. Finally, there's stomach sleeping. Despite being comfortable for some people, most sleep experts consider it the least favorable position. Why? Because it forces the neck into an extreme rotated position for hours. Imagine looking over your shoulder continuously for 8 hours. That's essentially what your neck experiences. This can contribute to neck pain, shoulder discomfort, and stiffness upon waking. Stomach sleeping also tends to flatten the natural curve of the spine. Over time, that may increase strain on muscles and joints. Does stomach sleeping prevent brain detoxification? There's no convincing evidence to support that claim, but because it may interfere with comfort, cause pain, or lead to more restless sleep, it could indirectly reduce sleep quality. And poorer sleep generally means less time spent in the deepest restorative stages. Here's something many people don't realize. Your sleeping position isn't fixed all night. Most adults change position between 10 and 30 times every night. These movements are completely normal. They're actually healthy. Changing position reduces pressure on joints, improves circulation, prevents numbness, and helps regulate body temperature. In other words, you don't need to remain perfectly still all night long to gain the benefits of healthy sleep. Your body naturally adjusts itself. This brings us to one of the biggest misconceptions surrounding brain detoxification. Some people believe that simply sleeping on one particular side will dramatically lower their risk of Alzheimer's disease. Current science does not support that conclusion. The glymphatic system is influenced by many factors: sleep duration, sleep quality, deep sleep, exercise, cardiovascular health, blood pressure, inflammation, age, and probably genetics as well. Body position may be one piece of the puzzle, but it is certainly not the entire picture. Focusing only on sleeping position while ignoring sleep quality would be like buying the world's best windshield wipers for a car that has no engine. The smaller detail matters, but only after the bigger systems are functioning properly. So if sleeping position isn't the magic answer, what actually helps your brain perform its nightly cleaning most efficiently? The answer involves habits that influence the quality of deep sleep itself, and some of them are surprisingly simple. In the final part, we'll explore the lifestyle choices that may have a much larger impact on your brain's natural detoxification system than sleeping position alone. We'll also discuss pillows, mattresses, aging, and the practical steps you can take tonight to support healthier sleep and perhaps a healthier brain for decades to come. Because the glymphatic system appears to work best during deep, uninterrupted sleep, not simply while you're lying in a particular direction. Think of it this way. Imagine hiring the world's best cleaning crew to clean an office building. If they only have 10 minutes before being interrupted, the building won't become very clean. Give them 8 uninterrupted hours, and the result is completely different. Fortunately, many of the habits that improve deep sleep are already well supported by scientific research. Maintaining a consistent sleep schedule, keeping your bedroom cool, quiet, and dark, limiting alcohol close to bedtime, reducing caffeine later in the day, avoiding heavy meals immediately before sleep, and getting regular physical activity. Exercise deserves special attention, not because it directly cleans your brain, but because people who exercise regularly often experience deeper, more restorative sleep. Exercise also improves cardiovascular health. Healthy blood vessels support healthy circulation, and healthy circulation supports the movement of nutrients, oxygen, and fluids throughout the body, including the brain. In other words, exercise may support the glymphatic system both directly and indirectly. Another overlooked factor is stress. When you're under chronic stress, your body produces more cortisol. This stress hormone can make it harder to fall asleep, and harder to remain asleep. You may spend more time in lighter stages of sleep, and less time in the deep stages that appear most important for brain restoration. That's one reason evening relaxation routines can be surprisingly valuable. Reading a book, gentle stretching, meditation, slow breathing, or simply reducing bright screens before bed. Now let's talk about your pillow. Can the right pillow improve brain detoxification? Probably not directly, but it can improve comfort. A pillow that keeps your neck aligned with your spine reduces unnecessary muscle tension. Less discomfort means fewer awakenings. Fewer awakenings mean longer stretches of uninterrupted sleep. And uninterrupted sleep gives your brain more time to perform its nightly housekeeping. The same principle applies to your mattress. There's no universally perfect mattress. The best mattress is the one that keeps your spine comfortable while allowing you to sleep continuously. Pain is one of the most common reasons people wake during the night. Reducing that pain can improve sleep quality, even if only by a small amount, and over years, small improvements often add up. Age introduces another challenge. As we grow older, deep sleep naturally becomes less abundant. Many older adults spend less time in slow-wave sleep than younger adults. Scientists believe this may partly explain why waste clearance becomes less efficient with aging. But this isn't a reason to lose hope. The brain remains remarkably adaptable. Research continues to show that healthy lifestyle habits can improve sleep quality at nearly every age. Let's address one final myth. You've probably seen advertisements claiming that a special pillow, a particular mattress, or a unique sleeping position can detox your brain. Be skeptical. The word detox is often used in marketing because it sounds appealing. Your brain already has an incredibly sophisticated cleaning system. It doesn't need expensive gadgets to activate it. It needs healthy sleep, good circulation, and a healthy body. That's where the evidence is strongest. Science rarely offers miracle solutions. So, what can you do tonight? If sleeping on your side feels comfortable, there's little reason to change. If you struggle with acid reflux, try sleeping on your left side. If you snore loudly or suspect sleep apnea, talk with your healthcare provider. Improving your breathing during sleep may have benefits far beyond simply feeling rested. If you wake with neck pain, consider whether your pillow supports proper alignment. And regardless of which position you prefer, prioritize the habits that consistently improve deep sleep, because those habits may have the greatest influence on your brain's remarkable overnight maintenance system. Perhaps the most beautiful part of this story is that while you sleep, your brain isn't shutting down. It's restoring itself, repairing, reorganizing memories, balancing chemicals, removing waste, preparing you for another day. Sleep isn't lost time, it's active biological maintenance. Without you even realizing it, your brain quietly goes to work. The science of the glymphatic system is still evolving. Researchers continue to uncover new details about how sleep influences brain health, why certain sleep disorders increase the risk of cognitive decline, and how lifestyle choices affect these remarkable cleaning processes. Many questions remain unanswered, but one conclusion grows stronger every year. Protecting your sleep is one of the most important investments you can make in your future health. So tonight, when you turn off the lights, remember this: your body isn't simply resting. Your brain is beginning one of the most extraordinary cleaning operations in nature, and every night of healthy, restorative sleep is another opportunity to protect the remarkable organ that makes you who you are. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy evidence-based discussions about healthy aging, longevity, and the fascinating science of the human body, consider subscribing to the channel. Together, we'll continue exploring the discoveries that can help us live longer, think more clearly, and age more gracefully. Until next time, sleep well, stay curious, and take good care of your brain.